In this tutorial, we're going to make sure that the tools that we've selected to use with the mill all have the right settings. The way we do that is to review the tool table. The tool table icon is near the layer table and the aperture table icon on the toolbar. It is the third in that group. We select that, and this will bring up the default tool table, which is the only tool table that most boards will be using. What this tool table contains is all of the drill bits that we'll be using to drill the holes, the pointed tool that we use to generate the machine paths to isolate our copper traces, and the contour router that we're going to use to come around the board outline. Now as we look at this, we want to look at the diameter first of the tools and make sure that these are normal numbers. If these say something like 49.99, that means that this data didn't import correctly with the drill file, and your drill file is most likely not in NC or Exelon format. You can manually enter the sizes here, or you look here in 32, 36, 40. These are all normal drill sizes. Now the RPM, which is how fast the mill head spins around, how fast these rotate, and the mill speed, which is the feed rate, these are going to be set with what's called a tool page. Here it should say FR4 half ounce standard spindle, which is what we're going to be using on the mill. That is half ounce copper and the standard spindle that T-Tech issues with these mills. Now we hit apply to this. If it said high speed spindle, we don't want that. No. What we want is standard spindle. Yes, we want to apply this to all of our tools. So now we'll see that the RPM and the mill speed for each tool, for instance, these are all drill bits. This is our 10 mil pointed tool that we created the isolations for. And this is the 62.5 mil contour router that will create our board outline. All of the RPM and speeds have been set correctly for these, for half ounce copper. Now, most of the double-sided boards you will be creating with half ounce copper, just because 1 ounce copper will dull your cutting bit and you'll need to use more bits, it will become very expensive. But for single-sided boards, sometimes you'll want to use 1 ounce copper to make the traces a little thicker so that they can withstand more current. If that's the case, if you're using 1 ounce copper, you will then need to go to the pointed tool and the contour router entries and change the mill speed manually to 1/2 of what it is. You change this one to 15 and this one to 5. But since we're doing a double-sided board here with half ounce copper, these settings should be fine. We select OK. Now we know that when we get ready to mill, all of the tools will operate correctly. The next tutorial will be just doing some finishing touches to your layers before we actually begin the process of milling, and positioning the representation of your board onto the representation of the coppers so that everything mills as you will have selected.